I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, seal my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't sleep. When I'm focused on dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank, I'm running on fumes. The opposites and don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it, I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them watch me elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit, nose diving in the option. Woo! Watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead, watch how I get ahead.
It's time! Welcome to DFS by the Numbers with your host, Brady.
Better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my final thoughts for UFC Vegas 48. Cannot wait to talk about this card. It's not the best card in the world, especially from a name value standpoint, but I do think there's going to be a ton of violence on this card, a ton of fights finishing. I think I have like 9 out of the 12 fights even finishing. So hoping for violence. Most of my bets are violence bets. Cannot wait to talk about all of those. Cannot wait to talk about some Draftkings and some weigh-ins as well. I do want to shout out the chat before we get started. If you guys can all please leave a like on the video. Also subscribe here to the channel. I'll be going live 1 hour prior to the prelims with me, Wheezy, Narco Cop, and Eric Betts fights. The prelims, I believe, start at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We'll be going live at 3, giving our best bet for each and every fight on the card. All 4 of us on the show all had a profitable week and a pretty good week as well. I was scared that my winning streak would come to an end, but shout out to Jared Cannonier for kind of saving the day there. So shout out to him and shout out to Thomas, first one to chat. This is my type of card. I'll take violence in every single fight. Let's go. Yeah, I'm almost there. Almost every single fight I have a violence bet. Pablo predicting violence as well. What's up, Pablo? We have Cole in the chat as well. Chad looks sus. Well, Chad always looks sus. He actually looked better than I thought he would, so that's good. What's up, Kevin? Can't wait to hear your voice. What's up? Brad, we got Smoke Bear saying, oi, what is up? We got Sean as well. Bill saying, give us the goods. I'm going to try. We got Brad in the chat. Lawrence, Kevin, Han, Jan, or John, my bad. Screen is blurry. Well, wipe your screen. It shouldn't be blurry. Let's make this money. A lot of violence on this card for sure. You have a ton of violence bets. What is up, Eduardo? How you doing? Parker Porter is the people's main event. It's one of the people's main events. A lot of people are very high on Parker Porter, and I kind of am, at least for this week. SB cashing tickets like Flapjacks. I agree. The general in the chat. Appreciate everything you do, man. Appreciate you. It's Amigo for hanging out. Jack Attack in the building. What is up, Jack Attack? We got Spencer, the general. The chat is flying by here. Skelly all day. I'm doing pretty good. Ready to break down this card. What is up, Malacera. All right, so I say we get right into it. Not in love with the card, like I said, but I do think there's going to be some violence. I do think there's going to be some very fun fights, and I'm ready to start looking into next week. So already got my stats done for next week. That's good. I'm going to start taping a lot of fights for next week as well. If you think this week's bad, next week is even worse. And I know what you're thinking. How can it be worse than Diana Belbita, Gloria da Paula? Well, it is. It's very bad next week. But I think a week after we have the Masvidal and Covington fight, so that's good. We got B in the chat as well. What is up, B? Don't have a handle on much fading the cupping. What is fading the cupping mean? But we'll get started with the first fight of the night. And I'm not sure if this is the exact order, but this is the order last time I did update. Mario Batista going against Jay Perrin. This is a fight that I don't have a bet on, but I do think it's a solid spot for Mario Batista. I will definitely not be laying the minus 340. Perrin, he's kind of a fighter where you can actually count on him to come in with a good game plan. He's going to fight to a style where he's going to go for takedowns. He's going to go for a lot of them. He doesn't look that great on the feet. I think it's going to be Batista all day on the feet, but I feel like Perrin might be able to have success early. It's just I think his style that he's going to try to come in here and replicate is going to be very hard to implement on short notice. So I think Perrin might be able to steal a first round off of Batista, but I think as the fight goes on, Perrin might slow down. Batista's takedown defense is good. His get-up game is very good. And like I said, on the feet, it's Batista all day. So I think either Batista by decision, which is plus 125, or Batista, maybe a late knockout. But this is a fight I don't have any action on in terms of a bet. For DraftKings, I think there's a lot better options than Mario Batista at 9,200. You have Jonathan Pierce, who we'll talk about next, up there at 9,300. You have Chad and Heckinger, who I do like more. And you have Parker Porter, who's around that range as well, 8,900. So not going to get to a ton of Batista. And Perrin, as far as a dog for cash, I don't hate. He's very tough. He's never been knocked out. He's going to push a very wrestling-heavy game plan. He's going to go for takedowns, control time. I think in a loss, he can score decent, at least in cash. But for tournaments, this is a fight that I don't want to target too much. Perrin is the man, always there to scrap to the end. Yes, he is. He's very tough. His gas tank should be fine because he booked recently for a title fight. Well, that's good. That's definitely good to hear if you are on the Perrin side. Batista by decision, in my opinion. Perrin is pretty durable. Yeah, I do agree. He's very durable, never been knocked out. And like I said, Batista by decision is plus 125. I think I'd play that rather than laying like the minus 340, which I don't really love. And I don't really love his price tag on DraftKings as well. But not a ton to say for this very first fight. We can move on to the next fight. Yeah, I agree. I will have some Perrin, especially in cash. Tournaments, I don't have a ton. But next fight, we have Jonathan Pierce going against Christian Rodriguez. Jonathan Pierce is my favorite play on DraftKings. I think he has the highest ceiling by a decent margin. This is a guy that's going to put on a very hectic pace. He's going to go for a ton of takedowns. He's going to throw a ton of strikes. And I do have my first bet of the night in this fight. It is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. Like I said, I have a ton of violent spots on this card, and this is one of them. I have 2 units on the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 165. I think it's around like minus 175, minus 185 now. Both these guys are very good finishers. I really like what I see from Christian Rodriguez. It's just a very tough matchup coming in on short notice, up a weight class against a guy like Jonathan Pierce, who's going to push a nonstop pace, who's going to be the much bigger fighter. If you guys saw the weigh-ins, Jonathan Pierce was kind of towering over this guy. So I think, at least early, Christian Rodriguez probably can have some success. Jonathan Pierce is very hittable. He does leave a lot of openings. I just think as the fight goes on, Pierce is going to wear on Rodriguez, and not a lot of people can keep up with the pace that he's going to bring. And like I said, taking this fight on short notice, up a weight class, is just a recipe for disaster. I think Jonathan Pierce wears him out, kind of breaks him as the fight goes on, and eventually gets him out of there. But I'm not completely ruling out a Rodriguez finish. Like I said, this guy's good. I really like what I see from Rodriguez. It's just a very tough matchup. But instead of betting Pierce inside the distance, which is around minus 125, I did opt for the fight doesn't go to decision to cover a Rodriguez finish as well, because Pierce has been finished in 3 of his 4 losses, twice by sub and 1 by knockout. But yeah, I like violence in this fight. We're going to talk about a lot of violence. This is one of my favorite violent spots on the card. And this is my favorite DraftKings play on the card. Jonathan Pierce, 9,300. Tons of takedowns, some control time, tons of strikes, and eventually a finish for Jonathan Pierce. So very high on Jonathan Pierce this week. But I do think that Christian Rodriguez will be back. I like what I see from the guy, but this is a very, very tough matchup. Yes, sir. Pierce by KO or sub minus 125, and I like Pierce round 3 submission. Yeah, makes sense to me. Yeah, I actually did hear that. Have you heard anything about the situation with Jennifer Gonzalez getting released after beefing with a USADA agent? Yeah, I did hear that. She was supposed to fight Josiane Nunez, and looks like Josiane Nunez has gotten her third new opponent in a row. We'll be seeing Josiane Nunez fight next week. I think that fight's going to be very low level, but very, very fun. What's up, Deb the Dude? How you doing? Pierce is the lock of the night. Yeah, can't really argue that. He's probably my most confident pick. Jonathan Pierce, 3rd round submission, 100%. See, I'm thinking like 2nd or 3rd round. Agreed lock Pierce on DK. Fade Johnny Walker, though this price is a trap. I'll be having a decent amount of Pierce, like I said, but I will have some Walker. We'll talk about him. Pierce will grind him out and break him eventually. I do agree. Rose Clark, we'll talk about her. What parlays are you doing? None. I hate parlays. I'm doing none of them. I am parlaying David Onama, Chad and Heckinger, and Jonathan Pierce minus 330. What do you think? I think it hits, but it's not something I do personally. She wasn't really beefing with the USADA agent. I don't know exactly what happened. I guess she was talking about how, I don't even know, but I really don't know. But it was weird. It was a very weird situation. She didn't even get tested. I'm not sure why. It's weird. Pierce has 6 finished in. Any thoughts on Buckley? We'll talk about him later in the card, but we'll keep moving on to the next fight. We have Chad and Heckinger going against Jesse Strader. More violence here in this spot. I have 1.3 units on the under 2.5 rounds, minus 130. Got it earlier in the week. The line has moved a little bit. I want to say that the fight doesn't go is now minus 170. I think that's still very good. The under 2.5 rounds, not sure what that is, but I'm assuming it's around minus 140, minus 145. I think that's pretty solid as well. I think these guys are just going to stand and bang until one man falls. Jesse Strader is a very popular bet this week. I seen everybody bet him earlier in the week, and I went to tape it, and I kind of see why people were betting it. The line is clearly off, but I can't pick Jesse Strader here. Chad and Heckinger, the thing that I like about him most is his durability. He has been finished in all 5 of his losses, but those 5 losses are by submission. And his last submission loss was like in 2014. So he shored up that part of the game. And I can almost guarantee you that Jesse Strader is not going to submit Chad and Heckinger. I think if Jesse Strader does win, I think it's going to be by knockout. I do think that Jesse Strader has a chance to knock him out. He hits very hard. He goes to the body, to the head, and he's going to try to take Chad and Hellinger's head off. It's just, I think when we're talking durability here, it's on the side of Chad and Heckinger. Jesse Strader has been knocked out twice. He's been hurt a bunch. I really question the chin of Jesse Strader. I question the cardio a little bit. It does look like he slows down, but he seems to be able to push through it. But still, I don't like what I see when the fight gets extended for Strader, and Heckinger is going to have the durability advantage, and I think that's very important in a firefight, in a fight that I think is going to finish. So I like Heckinger here to win. I don't hate Heckinger inside the distance, which is plus 110. I wouldn't mess around with either the KO or sub prop because I could honestly see either happening. But most importantly, I really do like that under. I really do like that fight doesn't go to decision. I think someone gets finished here. Well, I take a look at it this way. Both guys in their 7 combined losses have never lost by decision. 7 finished losses. And we can also take a look at their finish rates as well, which are very high. Chad and Heckinger, 82% finish rate, and Jesse Strader, an 80% finish rate. I think this fight finishes. And as far as DK goes, I like Heckinger, but there are some other spots I do like more on DK. Jonathan Pierce, 9,300, I like more. I like Parker Porter more. Some other guys up in the 9K range I do like a little bit more, but I do have some in Heckinger. And as far as Strader, I don't think Strader's the worst pump play in the world. This guy's going to definitely fight for your money. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw hard, and he's going to try to take off in Heckinger's head. So should be a very fun fight. Honestly, it's a very, very low-level fight, but I'm looking for a finish here. Give me an Heckinger to knock out Jesse Strader probably in that second round. Oberg is corny. I'll never bet that guy. Well, he won. But, yeah, that was a very, very boring fight. I agree. Let's see here. Under 2.5, lock it in. Let's go. Let's go. Me too, Brady. Let's cash. I do like the under 2.5. Let's see what else we got in here. Never say never, stop, guys. I also think he gets chin, but it's definitely possible. Yeah, anything can happen in MMA. Yeah, Gonzalez claimed the guy wasn't willing to wait a minute or two for her before he administered her test. So he left, and she posted his info on Insta. It's wild. Yeah, that is wild. Never heard of that before. None of Chad's opponents have put hands on him. I was only able to watch like 3 or 4 fights, and from what I've seen, you're kind of right. But he's a veteran. He's been in there. He looked good on the Contender Series. Looked better than I thought. The dude is a huge dog, but from what I've seen, yeah, he hasn't really fought many hard hitters. Jesse looked rough today. Didn't really stick out to me. What's up, War Dog? How you doing? See here. Strader gonna gas and get finished around 3. I can see it. Let's see here. Only dog I got is Jim. Better pump play on DK Strader or Christian Rodriguez. I'd probably go Strader, but I'm picking against both of them. What's up, Victor? How you doing? Let's make some money. I agree. Let's keep moving on. We got Chris in the chat. What is up, Chris? Better late than never. Was driving. Respect and good luck. Good luck to you as well, Chris. All right. We'll move on to the next fight. We have Gloria de Paula going against Diana Belbita. I was going to try to skip this, but I guess we can talk about it a little bit. I don't have a bet on this fight, and as of last time I checked, they don't have the full props out for Belbita, but I wasn't planning on betting on this fight anyway. I'm going to pick Belbita to win. I think she's going to do more. I actually really like the volume and willingness to throw Belbita. I think DePaula's probably the better striker, but I feel like Belbita's just going to do more. And I also don't like the fact that when DePaula gets taken down, she just has an unwillingness to get up. She kind of is content to just lay on her back. I feel like Belbita, who has gotten 2 takedowns thus far in 3 fights, if she can get down to Paula, can have success in just laying on top of her. DePaula was interviewed and saying that she was going to actually take down Belbita, which maybe, but anything can happen in this fight. Give me the more active fighter in Belbita, but you can't be confident in this pick one way or another. There's not even any props I'd look at, but I will take Belbita to win. Probably a decision, but it's a fight I would never bet in a million years. What's up, Mac? How you doing? Takedown week, and hopefully we get a takedown. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I was gonna try to skip it, but I thought I'd just touch on it briefly. I was ignorant when it came to Olberg. I no longer am. Well, he got the win pretty convincingly, but I thought he would finish Sharon, but Sharon didn't want to fight. With Dale Brown cornering Buckley, he's a lock. I don't know about that. If you bet this fight, you hate your money. Yeah, I would never bet it. DePaula looked rough today also. Didn't really stick out to me. When you don't know the fighters, pick the Brazilian DePaula a lock. Nothing's a lock in MMA, especially Gloria DePaula, I'll tell you that. But hey, you could be right. But we'll move on. Chaz Kelly going against Mark Striegel. Chaz Kelly minus 200. And we have Mark Striegel is plus 170. I was not going to bet this fight because there's a ton of red flags. You have Chaz Skelly coming off of a 2.5-year layoff. You have Chaz Skelly, who's now a 36-year-old featherweight. You have Chaz Skelly, who is talking about retirement, just red flag after red flag. But I look into the fight, I'm like, man, if we get anywhere near the best version of Chaz Skelly, like he's going to smoke this guy. Like I don't think it's going to be competitive if we get anywhere close to the best version of Chaz Skelly. Mark Striegel, solid wrestler. He leaves a lot of openings in the grappling. I think the better grappler is Skelly here by a significant margin. And I think the fight's going to play out on the mat for the most part. So I think Skelly's going to have many opportunities to submit Mark Striegel, who's been submitted twice, who's been finishing all 3 of his losses. But again, you can't be too confident in Skelly because he's all those red flags. And I saw somebody in the chat saying Skelly looked awful at weigh-ins, but he always looks awful at weigh-ins. He actually looked better than I was expecting. So I did like that. Yeah, I'm going to say Skelly submits this guy at some point. I do actually have a bet on this fight. I did not want to go too deep into it, but I do have a half unit on Chaz Skelly to win inside the distance at plus 150. I went with inside the distance rather than the sub because there wasn't much difference in terms of the price. But I think Skelly finishes this guy in honestly probably a submission. Striegel, again, has been finishing all of his losses. Chaz Skelly, a very good finisher. I think Skelly gets him out of there at some point. Just not high on Striegel. I'm not really high on Skelly either. I just think he's the much better grappler, and that's where this fight's going to be taking place. On DK, I do like Skelly at 8,700. Again, there's those risks do stick out a little bit, but if he does win, I see him scoring well. He does score well typically and wins as well. But give me Chaz Skelly into the distance, half a unit on that, plus 150. Sharon cut yet? I hope not. I want to fade him one more time. Chaz is tricky. I think he gets it done easy. If he looks anything like the Chaz Skelly we know, I think it'll be very easy. But we don't know. Yeah. Saya did a snatch Striegel's soul. Brady, any prize picks you like? I haven't done prize picks in a while. Over on takedowns for Porter at 1 and Dawkins at 2. I don't know. I'm not confident in either of those. I think Porter could get a takedown, but I don't know. Retirement fights are dicey. Again, there's so many red flags. I'm mad Modafferi retired. That was a for sure win on lineup night. Yep, no more Modafferi. That does suck. Let's see what we got. Lawrence saying Skelly by KO or sub, also decent look. I'm right there with you. Fight to end in submission on FanDuel is a decent flyer. The problem is I just don't see Striegel submitting Skelly. I was going to play the fight doesn't go or the under, but I just don't see much finishing upside for Striegel. Maybe he could. Maybe Skelly comes in here unprepared, but I don't know. The Paula looks are a lock. Potentially. Charant is a joke. 11 strikes he landed. That's embarrassing. Yep. That's Fabio Charant for you. Most likely dog to win. My most confident dog is probably Abdul Razak AlAssan, but I think Jim Miller's live. I think Gloria Paula's live in a close fight. Those three are pretty live there. There is one other one we'll talk about as well. What's up, Cam? How you doing? All right. So we'll move on to the next fight. We have Jessica Rose Clark going against Stephanie Egger. No bet here. But I was kind of tempted on Jessica Rose Clark. She got down to minus 160. I was kind of waiting it out. She's back to like minus 175. I'm going to sit back and watch this one more than likely, but I think it's a good spot for her. I think in terms of the striking, it's Jessica Rose Clark. And I also feel like Jessica Rose Clark can mix in takedowns here, get on top. I feel like she has the better ground game overall. Egger could potentially get Clark down, but I feel like, Clark's going to come in here with a good game plan. I really like her fight IQ, especially in her last couple fights. I feel like she's going to fight a smart game plan, whether that's keep it on the feet, outstrike Egger pretty easily, or, like I said, mix in those takedowns, get some control time, and win a decision here. So I do like Jessica Rose Clark, but I'm definitely not betting it. Plus 125 by decision, that stuck out. I'm curious to see what the round 3 or decision is on FanDuel. I haven't looked at it, but that would be another way I'd look. But this is a fight that I'm going to just pass on for now. DraftKings, I'm not playing much Egger, and I have a little bit of Rose Clark. She actually does score pretty good in her wins, but a fight that I'm not too interested in. I think it'll be fun, but just no interest in putting much money on it. AlAssan, Miller, to Paula Dogs, I agree. Rose is a lock. Nothing is a lock, especially Rose, but I will pick her to win. Rose by decision. I do like it, but I'm not betting it. So many low-level fights on this card. Yeah, there's a ton. But next week's even worse. If you think this is low-level, wait till next week. Wait till next week. You'll be surprised. All right. We will keep moving on. 173 in here. If you all can't talk, can leave a like, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with my betting breakdown out early in the morning, and then I'll be live with Wheezy, Narco, and Eric 1 hour prior to the prelims. And once I'm going to take a drink. All right. What do we have next? Is it easier to lose money on them when they're pretty? I think losing money is never easy. I don't know. Never thought of it that way. Dev, this card is fire. Not the name value, but I feel like people are going to enjoy it. I feel like it'll be fun, but it's low level. It's very low level. All right. Let's move on. We have David Onama going against Gabriel Benitez, and this is probably the most debated fight of the card. I see a lot of people with very, very strong opinions one way or another, like super strong opinions. I don't have a really strong opinion. I do have a bet on this fight, but I'm going to pick Onama. By the way, Gabriel Benitez did miss weight, and I believe that's like the second time, maybe third time in a row he's missed weight. He missed weight against, I want to say, Jonathan Pierce, and Pierce did not take the fight. So I don't know what's going on with Benitez, but he missed weight. He came in kind of early. I want to say he came in like 30 minutes in, so he probably didn't try to really kill himself to make the weight. So I don't know if that hurts him. I don't know where his head's at. I don't know what's going on with him, but he is 33 years old. He is getting up there in age. He has been in a ton of wars. It does look like he's slowing down a little bit. We have the young up-and-comer David Onama, who it really impressed in his loss against Mason Jones. And it's a close fight. It's a very close fight. I think someone's getting finished. I actually don't hate the fight doesn't go to decision here at minus 190. I don't hate the under. Money's actually looks like it's coming in on the overs, and the fight goes to decision. But I did find a sneaky way to attack this fight doesn't go, because honestly, I didn't love the 190 that much, but I did see the fight ends in KO on FanDuel Sportsbook, and it was sitting at minus 115. And I'm not sure if it's still there, but I think it should be. But I think this fight has a very good chance of finishing and finishing by KO. I personally think that Onama is going to knock out Benitez in that second or third round, but Benitez hits very hard, kicks very hard, especially to the legs, to the body, and it would not shock me if Benitez knocked him out, but I think someone gets finished here. Fight ends in KO, minus 115. Only a half unit on it. I don't want to be too exposed to this fight, but I know a lot of people that are very, very confident in one way or another, and I'm assuming Dev the Dude's going to call Onama a lock. I have not even looked at the chat yet, but I'm assuming Dev the Dude is going to say Onama's a lock, which he's definitely not, but I will pick him to win, and a lot of people are very high on Onama. So we'll see what happens. I just think Benitez is on a decline. If this was a couple of years ago, it'd probably be Benitez all day for me. It's just I've not liked what I've seen from Benitez. The dude missed weight. Where's his head at? Give me Onama to win. Give me Onama to win by knockout. Onama, 8,400 on DraftKings. I like it. I think he can finish here. 100% finish rate. Benitez has been finished 5 times. Benitez on DK, 7,800. I don't hate it as well. I think he's very live for a finish. Onama is very hittable, leaves a lot of openings, and Benitez hits hard, kicks even harder. So both sides for me on DraftKings. The pick will be Onama. Not a ton of confidence in the pick, but I have a little more confidence in this fight finishing. All right. Striegel, the lock of the week? Absolutely not. If the Water Buffalo fought Woodley in a phone booth, would anyone land a punch? I doubt it. Maybe a couple. Onama by KO TKO. I'm right there with you. What is up, 302? How you doing? Onama KO, says Jeffrey. Gabe looked bad at the weigh-ins. Yeah, he did miss weight. He didn't look great. Benitez going to get cut soon. He could. There he is. Dev saying Onama's a lock. Called it. Onama is a legit prospect. That's the rumor. I want to see more though. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out. Minus 190. I got him at minus 160. I got at Onama's minus one. Onama's not minus 190. What's up, Nick Alexander? How you doing? You got a bet on Onama? I think he wins. Let's see what we got here. How about Buckley by KO and AlAssan by KO? Playing both sides seems safer than the under 2.5. Isn't that kind of the same thing? But yeah, I think on some books you can bet the fight ends in KO. Onama. Talking about some Buckley. Onama for president. I thought it was Tripp and Moda and Finish. Yeah, they're backwards for some reason. I got to fix that. But yeah, the Mata and Miller finish stats are backwards. Onama is a lock. Nothing is a lock in MMA ever, especially David Onama. But I do think he wins. All right. We will. He's minus 170. Is he? Minus 155 for you. There you go. We got General Sam. Press the like button. I agree about to hit 200 people in here. Thank you all for hanging out on a Friday. I think we have some fights going on tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not watching. I have a lot of stuff to do today. Brady, have a DK contest this week? No, I'll be doing a DK contest for the Colby and Jorge card in a couple weeks. All right. We'll keep moving on. We have, this is the main card, I believe. Yeah, we have Joaquin Buckley going against Abdulrazak AlAssan. I do have 2 bets in this fight. The first bet being the under 2.5 rounds. I got it at minus 200. I have 2 units on that. And then I also have a quarter unit on Abdulrazak AlAssan to win by round 1 knockout at plus 500. I think that line is pretty crazy considering Abdulrazak AlAssan has not won any other way than first round knockout. He's not won in the second round. He's not won in the third round. He's not won by decision. He's not won by submission. The only way this guy has ever won a fight has been first round knockout. He's plus 145 and it's plus 500. It just doesn't make much sense to me. So I did take a small poke on that. And Buckley has been knocked out 3 times. He's been dropped a lot, hurt a lot. It would not shock me in the slightest if AlAssan came in here and starched him early, but I think someone's getting finished here regardless. Probably within the first 1.5 rounds. I honestly don't hate the under 1.5, but I did take that under 2.5 to be a little safer, and I do have 2 units on it. So 2 units, under 2.5 rounds, minus 200, and then also a quarter unit on Abdulrazak AlAssan to win by round 1 knockout at plus 500, hoping to hit both of those. DraftKings, I'm going to have a ton of both sides. I think either guy, if they get a win here, it's going to be a finish, an early finish, and just at these price tags, it's really hard to not see this fight landing on the optimal lineup. So I want to say I have, close to about the same of each guy, but I do have a ton of it. And I think the winner should score very, very well with a finish and an early finish as well. Brady, you are a big deal now. Holy, thank you, Wade. Nice chat. You got him at -140. Benitez is going to sleep. Yeah, I think Benitez is going to sleep as well. I got the general taking notes, Nick taking notes. Usually fights with both finishers go the distance as they both respect each other's power. Maybe, but I don't think AlAssan's respected anybody ever. AlAssan, a must-have in DK. Yeah, I have a ton of them. He's one of my favorite dogs because if he wins, it's in the first round. Only way AlAssan wins is by head kick KO. The over 1.5 is very solid in my opinion. Well, if you bet the over 1.5, you're going to be sweating. It's not something I want to do. I'm thinking violence here. I know some people don't like violence, but I'm going violence heavy. The whole main card will be violence except the Dawkins fight. I actually can see Dawkins finishing, but yeah, I got you. I like Buckley here. He'll wrestle. Yeah, him wrestling is the narrative for this week. I absolutely don't see it. Buckley is not Malcoon, and I absolutely don't see a decision. Hot take there from Dev the Dude. But we'll keep moving on. We have Nicholas Mata going against Jim Miller. Yeah, sorry guys, this is backwards. So it's Miller that's been finished 5 times, and Mata's been finished 3 times. My bad. But Mata -180, Jim Miller +155. More violence in this fight. We have the fight doesn't go to decision, -110, 1.1 units on it. This is my second bet of the week. I think that's now like -140, which is still really good in my opinion. I think that this fight goes one of 2 ways. I think Jim Miller comes in here, either knocks out Mata, who honestly is very chinny. I don't like what I see from Mata in terms of him getting hit and getting knocked out. Miller shows that he still has some power. Maybe a club and sub as well as on the table for Jim Miller. Jim Miller, if he gets his fight down to the mat early, he can submit, pretty much anybody in the division. Miller is very, very dangerous for only about a round, though. If Mata is able to stuff the takedowns early, get this to the second round, I don't see him surviving, or I don't see Miller surviving against him. Mata has serious, serious power in his hands. Jim Miller is now 38 years old. But regardless, I think someone gets finished here, either Miller round 1, which I think Miller round 1 bets are solid. I did not take one myself, but I do have 1.1 units on the fight doesn't go at -110. I think someone's getting finished here, but I will take Mata to stuff the early takedowns, get this extended a little bit. I think Miller's going to slow down, and I think Mata's going to put him out. Mata's power is absolutely no joke. I've seen him put out guys cold. I've seen him knock guys out, and I've seen his opponents, take minutes to finally wake up. This guy's power is something special, and I think he puts out Jim Miller, but Miller's fought the better competition. Miller is way more experienced. Miller is going to go out there. He's going to look for the early finish, and he could get it. So that's why I like the fight doesn't go. And that's about it. I'm not going to – the Mata money line's kind of crazy. I don't hate people taking a shot on Jim Miller, but if you're going to take a shot on Jim Miller, you might as well take a shot on him either inside the distance or round 1. For DraftKings, I don't hate either side here. Mata, 8,500. I think he's live for that KO. And then Miller is a dog. You're going to want to target some on DraftKings, 7,700. If he wins – like I said, early finish more than likely. But yeah, very fun fight and another fight that I think ends inside the distance. Dev on Jim. There you go. Guys who bet overs instead of violence are not friends of mine. Yeah, I posted a tweet earlier today saying, how can anybody bet an over? And I'm actually pretty good at betting over. It's just I hate watching overs. Like I like rooting for violence. Miller moneyline live or take the fin. I'd take the fight doesn't go. I'd say he's live for sure though. But if you're gonna bet it, I bet the fight doesn't go. Kind of cover both sides because if there is a finish, there's a really good chance it is either Miller round 1 or Mata some point in the fight. Fade round 1 fighters. You have Miller round 1 fighter. AlAssan round 1 fighter. Jim decision. I don't think so. Miller not winning. He could. He really could. But I have Mata here knocking him out. I have a feeling Mata Miller might go to decision. Yeah, I don't see it. I feel like it finishes. If it goes to decision, it's probably Mata stuffing takedowns, kind of being conservative, staying on the outside. It's possible, but I'm feeling some violence here. Crazy that Miller is about to have the most fights in the UFC. Does anyone remember when his brother Dan used to fight in the UFC along with him? A long time ago. He's been in there for a long time, and he's talking about wanting to fight at UFC 300. which is crazy. So we'll see. I think Pickett can win. Absolutely not. Pickett is the fate of the night. I absolutely agree. But we'll keep moving on to the people's main event. Parker Porter going against Alan Badeau. And I do have 2 bets on this fight. And people are very high on Parker Porter. I don't know if it's like some type of joke, but I've been seeing people say that Porter's the next heavyweight champion. Porter is the heavyweight GOAT. I don't know if it's a joke or what, but I actually do like Porter in this spot. But I'm still not high on him in general. This is a very low-level heavyweight fight, but I do have 2 bets on this fight. The first one being Parker Porter to win inside the distance. I have 1 unit on that at plus 110. And I also have the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 200, 1 unit on that. I feel like I should be a lot heavier on that. Fight doesn't go to decision. That fight doesn't go to decision line seems very off. Alan Badeau in his 2 losses, both of them coming inside the distance. And he also has a disqualification win that was in a fight where he actually got submitted and his opponent popped for marijuana, so they gave him a DQ win. So in reality, this guy's been finished in all 3 of his losses, and Parker Porter has been finished in all 5 of his losses. So neither guy, again, has lost by decision. All of the losses coming inside the distance. On top of that, this is a heavyweight fight. On top of that, Alan Badeau has a round of cardio. Why is the fight doesn't go to decision around minus 200? It just does not make sense at all. Is it because Parker Porter went to decision in his last 2 fights? Probably, but this fight doesn't go is off, and I feel like I should be heavier on it, but I don't want to be too invested into this fight because at the end of the day, it's a very low-level fight. I know people are high on Parker Porter. I think it's the weirdest thing, but I am high on him. But in this matchup, I'm not a big fan of Alan Badeau. A round of cardio, the worst ground game you'll ever see. He looked good in his last fight against Nascimento in that first round, but after the first round was over, the dude fell off a cliff. The dude quit, and I feel like Parker's going to make him quit here, and Parker's going to get him out of there in that second round. If you like Badeau, probably bet him in the first round. Another one of these guys that is probably first round or bust, but I think Parker eats those shots in the first round, gets it to the second, and eventually gets him out of there. So 1 unit, Porter inside the distance, plus 110, and then 1 unit, fight doesn't go to decision, minus 200. If money keeps coming in on the overs and the fight goes to decision, I'm going to have to add on, but I don't expect that. I think people are going to start hammering this fight doesn't go, and it looks like it's kind of trending that way, but we'll see what happens. I think the fight doesn't go, and this fight is probably one of the mispriced lines of the card. I don't know why I'm not going heavier on it. Porter is a lot of people are saying he's the GOAT. I don't know if people are being serious, but I don't know. Just got here. God bless you. If you bet against the Paula, you're a moron. Simp. Okay, good luck. God bless you guys. Real interesting comment there, Thomas. I am definitely not betting that fight, but appreciate the comment, I guess. I think Badeau kills him early. Hey, anything can happen. It's heavyweight. Porter should be able to get it done. They were looking out with this matchup. Yeah, I want to say Badeau's the worst heavyweight in the UFC at the moment. It's really close between him or Harry Hunsucker, but I'll say it's close. Harry Hunsucker or Alan Badeau. Who's the worst? I'll say it's tough. They're both very bad. Appreciate the dono, Big Steve. Let's go, baby. Appreciate the $2 dono. Shout out to you. Frank says Badeau's the worst heavyweight. Yes, between him. Or I hope Onama sends him to the Shadow Realm too. I think so. Badeau doesn't know how to wrestle at all. He definitely doesn't, and his ground game is very bad. Porter by sub is an easy prop. Yeah, Porter by sub is like plus 800. That was horrible. Yeah, my bad. I meant Parker. My bad. Eats the. I didn't even mean it like that. Eats those shots. I didn't even mean it like that. We got Monk. What is up, Monk? Go check out Monk's channel. Him and Lou just went live. Go check him out. I was in there for a little bit. Very fun show. Hunsucker. I don't know. It's close between Hunsucker or Badeau. I don't know. A lot of violence on this card, Brady. People holding over tickets will be sweating. Yep. A ton of violence. There are a few fighters that can max out speed, power, and physique like Parker Porter. I guess, man. I guess. Why are folks so down on Badeau? Although he lost to Aspen on Nascimento, the dude hasn't won, I want to say, in like 5 or 6 years. It's been a long time since Badeau's won a fight. The last win he had was a disqualification win where he got dominated from pillar to post. So I think that's why people are kind of low on him. But we'll move on to the co-main event. We have Kyle Daukaus going against Jamie Pickett. And I like Daukaus here quite a bit. So this line movement was kind of weird. Daukaus opened up around like minus 250, minus 240 around that range. And I was like, this line seems really off. I messaged Weezy. I was like, Weezy, this line seems off. And then all of a sudden, like money was pouring in on Jamie Pickett for some reason. So I just kept waiting it out. And more money was just coming in on Pickett and kept coming. And all of a sudden I saw Daukaus at minus 200. So I go and I tape it. And I'm like, yeah, this line's nuts. Kyle Daukaus should be closer to minus 300, if anything. So yeah, I bet Daukaus minus 200, 2 units on it. I had somebody hit me up saying that it actually had Daukaus on Draftkings at like minus 185 earlier in the week. But yeah, that's my first bet of the week. Kyle Daukaus, 2 units, minus 200. Since then, money's been coming in on Daukaus, rightfully so. The line was off. I still think it's probably a little bit off. I think Daukaus probably should be closer to minus 300 here. And the reason being is simple as this. One fighter does things and one fighter does not do anything at all. Jamie Pickett, when he's winning fights, he's doing just enough. He's not throwing a ton. He's holding his opponents against the cage. His fights, when he wins, are the most boring fights you'll ever see. Against Joseph Holmes, who I'm extremely not high on. And Holmes, by the way, was like a big favorite. It was like minus 160 against Pickett. Pickett was able to barely scrape by him. He actually lost the first round, and then Holmes gassed out after the first. And then he beat Staropoli in a fight where it was Staropoli who's a weight class below him, much, much smaller. Staropoli was actually holding Daukaus against the cage. He controlled Pickett for like 5 minutes in that fight. I mean, Staropoli controlled Pickett, yeah, for like 5 minutes in that fight. But Pickett, his problem is he doesn't let his hands go. I've only seen one fight as of recent where he's let his hands go, and that was against Jonathan Patty, which was his third Contender Series fight, and he looked good. He looks really good when he lets his hands go. The problem with Pickett is he just doesn't let his hands go. So in terms of the striking, I give the advantage to Daukaus. I think he's the better striker. I think he's going to throw more output. I think output's important. I think doing things is important, and Kyle Daukaus is going to do things. One guy tries to win, tries to go for the kill, and Daukaus is a finisher. He's dangerous anywhere the fight goes, but especially on the mat. And I think if Daukaus gets the fight down to the mat, the fight will be over shortly after. Daukaus' ground game is no joke. Absolutely no joke. And Pickett's been, out-grappled by guys like Charles Byrd. He's been out-grappled by guys like a gassed third-round Punahele Soriano. And on top of that, Pickett's taken this fight on short notice. So I don't have many straight bets on this card. I only have one. And this year, I'm trying to really, focus on being more conservative with my straight bets because in the past I've not done so great. I'd see a fighter that I'd like and I bet them. But this year I like what I'm doing with my straight bets. I'm being very careful and picking my straight bets here, and I have not lost one yet. And I don't think that changes here with Daukaus. I mean, what is Pickett's path to victory? Making it a very boring, greasy fight, and I just don't think Daukaus is going to kind of fall into that greasy fight that Pickett's going to try to bring. So I like Daukaus here. Don't love him on DK. I do have a little bit. I think he can actually sub Pickett at some point. Like I said, if this gets down to the mat, it's over in my opinion. But there are some other plays I do like a little bit more. See what you guys are saying in the chat. We're doing really good on time. 44 minutes in. Isn't Badeau the name of a toilet? I think it's something like that. Badeau. I think it might be. Badeau showed up 10 pounds heavier than he did in his last fight and not the right kind of 10 pounds. I thought Badeau looked good. I thought he looked okay. What's up, gentlemen? What is up, Glenn? How you doing? Daukaus by sub or points on FanDuel is minus 170. I think that's a solid way to play it. Pickett's very tough, very durable. Doesn't really get knocked out unless he's fighting the Beverly Hills Ninja. And Daukaus has 0 knockouts on his record. I like Daukaus, but not a good GPP. Yeah, there's better options. Parlay Dawkins and Hill -110. I think it hits. Uncle Weezy on that Dawkins by decision sub as well, -165. I think it moved to -170. But yeah, I think that's especially now where Dawkins is -260, -300 on some books. I think the -165, -170 is a very good look. Kevin Holland wins the rematch with Dawkins. I don't know. Dawkins was winning that fight up until the headbutt. He was looking good. He really was. And we got to remember that Dawkins is going to be making improvements. This is a young guy, whereas Pickett, he's not a young guy. He's in his 30s. Dawkins is young. Dawkins is going to shave his ass. I think he could. Weezy, did you or anyone else notice Walker seemed to tweak something in his back after weigh-ins? Yeah, he did. I think he was acting, though. Any safe bets on there? On where? Badeau. Yeah, so close. Badeau, Badeau. They're both toilets, right? Nick, sub or decision? Badeau or bid it? Badeau? I don't know. I've only used one like once at a basketball game, Cavs game. Making a $100 four-legger. Talk to me, Brady. Appreciate the dono. I'm not a parlay guy. I hate parlays, but since you sent a dono, I'll try to help you out here. So parlays, if we're gonna parlay some props and some money lines here. So give me Kyle Dawkins. Give me Kyle Dawkins. Give me the Hill Walker fight doesn't go to decision. Give me Jonathan Pierce. And give me one more good piece. Give me Mario Batista, I think 4 legs. But yeah, I hate parlays. I'm trying to stay away from them. They're evil, and I will not be doing them. I will try my best not to do them. I hate parlays. Yeah, both toilets. Batista decision. Yep, I think Batista decision as well. Under 2.5 and Heckinger straighter under 2.5, Miller under 2.5 and under 2.5. I hope that hits. If it hits, I'm gonna have a good night. All right. Yeah, people love people love their parlays, and so does Vegas. Vegas was built off of parlays, and I see why. All right. Main event, Jamal Hill, Johnny Walker. I do have a couple bets on this fight. The first bet is being the fight won't start round 4. Paul loves his parlay. I bet you do. I bet you love your parlays. All right. So I have the fight won't start round 4, -190. I have 2 units on that. And then what I also did was I put 2 small bets on Hill to win in round 4 and round 5. So I have Hill to win in round 4, 0.2 units plus 1,600. And then I also have Hill to win in round 5, 0.15 units plus 2,500. So honestly, the best case scenario would be a Hill finish in the 4th or 5th round. But I think this fight does finish before then. I think this fight finishes within the first couple rounds. But I did want to get Hill in the 4th and the 5th just to cover all those angles. Walker's fight did go to decision in his last fight against Thiago Santos, but Thiago Santos and Jamal Hill are going to fight at a completely different style. Like Jamal Hill throws a ton of volume. He throws nearly 16 significant strike attempts per minute. That's insane. He's landing about half of those. Jamal Hill's not going to come out here and try to, compete in a staring contest against Johnny Walker. And I don't expect Walker to come out here and try to compete in a staring contest again after, looking like an idiot in his last fight. I like Hill here. Obviously, the line is very wide, but I think Hill wins. Walker's 40% striking defense I don't like. Walker's suspect chin I don't like. Walker's suspect cardio I don't like. I think Hill knocks him out at some point in this fight. I really like the striking of Hill, but you can't completely count out Johnny Walker. I have a feeling Dev the Dude's in the chat saying that Hill's going to be a lock here, and I don't really think so. If Walker shows up and he comes in here and he fights like the old Johnny Walker, wild and reckless, he's going to have opportunities because Hill's very hittable in his own right. And PayPal was saying in the Discord earlier in the week, like, who is the most dangerous or the hardest hitter that Jamal Hill's fought? And the answer to that was probably Jimmy Crute. And Jimmy Crute's not the hardest hitter in the world. And on top of that, we didn't get to see the fight play out. But, Paul Craig's not a hard hitter at all. He's a grappler. Darko Stosic is not a hard hitter at all. And Klidson Abreu is a grappler as well. So this is going to be easily the most dangerous fighter on the feet that Jamal Hill has faced. So I'm staying away from the minus 240, but I do think Hill wins. I'm obviously not parlaying Hill or playing him straight or playing a Hill prop, but I do like violence. I do like the fight won't start round 4, minus 192 units. And like I said, I did sprinkle the 4 and 5 for Hill because I think if this does get extended, that only favors Hill. I think Hill has the better cardio, the better output, and I think Hill does finish Walker at some point in this fight, but don't completely count out Johnny Walker. If he comes in here and fights like he usually does, he's going to have opportunities. I knew it. I knew it. Hill is not a lock. Nothing is a lock. Go about 170 can hit that like. I agree. Let's hit the like button. Appreciate you. Free UFC bet picks. Go follow him on Instagram. Hill by KO minus 130, under 2.5 minus 1. I think that under 2.5 is a really good look. Hill is going to bring the fight to Walker. Yes, he is. Walker won't have a choice but to fight for his life, or he's going to get his ass shaved. Fight or flight, baby. Let's go. I see it going the same way. And I'm the only one that thinks Walker's rights a lot of wrongs this fight. He could. The real question is, does Walker throw more strikes than feints this time? I think he will. I wouldn't be shocked if there's a scramble and Hill locks up a sub. I don't think so, personally. Maybe you could be right. You might get great odds on that. Hill by sub is plus 2,000, which is one of the best sub props on the card. Walker looks in super shape. Yeah, he always does. But Hill should knock him out when things settle down. Yeah, I think Hill gets him. Walker lost a lot of people a lot of money in that Santos fight, including me. So I think there's a lot of revenge betting going on. No, I'm just betting. I really like those bets. You think the fight's going to go to decision again? I'd be shocked. I think that last fight was a fight where they just didn't do anything. And the problem with that is Hill's going to do stuff. Hill manages distance well, and he's got a good fight IQ. Bad matchup for Walker. It could be. Didn't Hill crack with OSP? Yeah, Hill did fight OSP, and he did knock him out. How much is your pot at the moment? What do you mean by pot? Jamal Hill did a shoey. What if he gets sick before the fight because of that shoey? AlAssan, his mother warned everyone. I hope he doesn't get sick. LOA, you're going to probably shake your head. Parlay to Paula. Yeah. Yes, Gloria. Hill, Bryce Mitchell, and Covington. Yeah. Bryce Mitchell's fighting Barbosa, right? That's going to be a great fight. Covington, I do like early on. Yeah, maybe he could hit. I think Hill puts him down in round 3. I'm predicting round 2, but I could also see round 1. I could see round 3. I could see any round, really. Somebody in the chat, so few likes, come on. Low output, water buffalo. Yeah, don't be a Fabio Charant. Don't be a Johnny Walker. Let's hit the like button, guys. You think Striegel is a pump play? The guys on the Draftkings show, Luke and Wheezy, thought he could be an interesting dart throw. And maybe he could, because Chas Kelly's not fought in a while. See what else we got here. But yeah, I'm going to quickly go over the bets. I'll be going over my bets tomorrow on the betting breakdown tomorrow morning. That's coming out at 6 in the morning, bright and early. And then, like I said, me and the guys, Wheezy, Narco, and Eric will be doing the best bet show tomorrow at 3 p.m. But my only straight bet of the night, Kyle Dawkins, 2 units, minus 200. I have Jim Miller, Nicholas Mata, fight doesn't go to decision, 1.1 units, minus 110. Jesse Strader, Chad and Heckinger, under 2.5 rounds, minus 130, 1.3 units. Johnny Walker, Jamal Hill, fight does not start round 4, minus 192 units. Jamal Hill wins in round 4, 0.2 units, plus 1,600. Jamal Hill wins in round 5, 0.15 units, plus 2,500. Joaquin Buckley, under 2.5 rounds, going against AlAssan, minus 202 units. And also have AlAssan wins by round 1 knockout, plus 500, a quarter unit on that. Rodriguez Pierce, fight doesn't go to decision, minus 165, 2 units. Parker Porter, Alan Badeau, Porter wins inside the distance, plus 110, 1 unit. And then also the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 200, 1 unit. I will be adding on to that if the line does come down more, which I don't expect it to, but we'll see. Benitez Onama fight ends in KO, minus 115, half a unit. And then Chas Kelly wins inside the distance, half a unit, plus 150, and that's it. I know some people hate violence out there, but I'm a violence believer, a violence lover. I hate rooting for fights to go the distance. I know some people like that. But that's not me. We're going to get violence on this card, and a lot of it. If we do, it should be a good night. If all the fights go to decision, it's going to be a bad night. But my goodness, it should be a violent night. Low-level fights. We're in the small cage. I think we're going to get violence, guys. How much money did you put in this event total? I want to say like 1,400 total, or 14 units. Hill Hill absolutely for DK. 9K. I have a lot of Hill, and then I also have some Walker mixed in as well. If you're gonna do parlays, do it with solid favorites. Yeah, if I was to do parlays, it would be with 2 confident picks. But even then, like, it's not working out for me. Parlays aren't for me. Does Mowgli missing weight help him or hurt him? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, where's his head at is what I'm thinking. Like, how serious is he taking this? He didn't even try to cut weight. It didn't look like. Maybe it helps him a little bit, but I'm not looking into it this much. Appreciate that, Wade. Brady's the best in the business, and best, I mean most money and the least money out of your bank account. Appreciate that. I'm a violence lover as well, and this card should produce a lovely night of violence. Let's go, Brady. Let's make some money. Let's make some money indeed. Final thoughts on the Jesse Strader fight. I think it finishes. I'm going to go with the more durable guy and then Heckinger, the better cardio, and then Heckinger, the more experience. I don't like the durability of Jesse Strader. Baller Brady, hey, shout out to PayPal. Glad to have you back, PayPal. It's not the same without you. We got Prodigy saying JRC is Prodigy's prophecy. 3 units. Let's go. I think it hits, and I might be joining you if the line comes down a little bit, but I don't think it will. But I will wish you luck on that. Thoughts on the Nicholas Modify? I talked about it a little bit, but I think that finishes as well. Thanks, Brady. Have a good weekend. See you next week. See you next week. Dang, Brady, I love how you listed all the bets and finished with that. Love it. Good luck, brother. Good luck to you as well, Mike. That's about it, guys. Leave a like. Check out dfsbythenumbers.com. Lots of stuff going on there week in and week out. Lots of extra content. Going to start looking into UFC Vegas 49, which is, believe it or not, a worse card than this. I mean, if you look at that card next week, you might puke. I mean, it's terrible. And on top of that, we lost the main event. But luckily, Bobby Green stepping in to save the day. Can't wait to break that one down. And then after that, we have a really good card in Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington. That's about it. Good luck. Prodigy wants to add the outro again. I will do it for Prodigy. Good luck, Jack Attack. Keep killing it, man. You're absolutely killing it, dude. Appreciate you, Zara, for hanging out. We'll see you, Nick. Yes, violence. Good luck, everybody. And I will play the outro on the way out for Prodigy. See you guys.
I need all the wins, yeah. All that and all that is. You better move, you might get knocked out.